Hello and welcome to the second public meeting for the Keystone Bridge Replacement Project. My name is Sara Going. I'm the RTC Project Manager, and I'm really pleased to share some more information with you today. The purpose of this meeting is to share the project status with the public, as well as review how we integrated the feedback from our last public meeting in December into the project alternatives. We're also going to review the proposed alternatives moving forward, discuss next steps for the project, and also this public meeting is to check in with the public and get your valuable feedback on how our project is shaping up. The purpose of this project is to address the deteriorating Keystone Avenue Bridge over the Truckee River, as well as address multimodal circulation in the bridge corridor. We're currently performing a feasibility study for the project, which is the first step as we work towards construction as soon as 2027. The feasibility study's goal is to narrow down and select feasible proposed alternatives for further design and environmental study. This is our second public meeting for the project. Our first meeting was back December, where we took your feedback from the level 1 screening and integrated it into the concepts for the level 2 screening. In this meeting, we will share the recommendations from that screening as we look towards wrapping up the feasibility study this summer. Let's go and recap the first public meeting and the great feedback that was provided to our team. So the first screening involved two subject areas. The first was the Keystone multimodal configuration over the Truckee River. And so that level 1 screening resulted in 3 alternatives for crossing the Truckee River. The second subject was at the Keystone Avenue and California Avenue intersection, and the feedback from that first level of screening was that we needed to make multimodal improvements at the intersection, as well as make more consideration for accommodating large vehicle movements. We asked a few questions to the public, and we really appreciate those of you who provided us feedback. One of the questions we asked was whether the public had any safety concerns in the project area, and the responses we received were about general pedestrian and bicycle safety, lack of pedestrian and bicycle facilities on the Keystone Bridge, the turn from California Avenue onto Keystone Avenue, as well as traffic speeds on Keystone over the bridge and pedestrian safety at the Keystone and Jones intersection. We also asked whether pedestrian facilities were needed on both the Booth Street Bridge and the Keystone Avenue Bridge, and the public said overwhelmingly 77% yes, they would like to have pedestrian facilities on the Keystone Avenue Bridge, and that's why the proposed alternative does include a multi-use path on Keystone Avenue. Other comments we received were regarding aesthetics and, again, oversized vehicles. Aesthetics will be a focus during the next project phase, certainly with opportunity for guidance and input by the public. Trucks and large vehicle movements through the area were also a recurring theme in the comments, and that was particularly relevant to screening the alternatives for the Keystone and California intersection. At that intersection, other concerns were pedestrian and bicycle safety, as well as continuous and protected infrastructure for these modes. Truck and bus movements are also a known problem in the intersection. Both Keystone and California Avenue are designated truck routes. So making the turn movement improvements at this intersection will help keep those trucks off the surrounding neighborhood streets, which was a concern by the surrounding neighbors. All of that feedback was integrated into the level 2 screening, which resulted in proposed alternatives for each focus area. Similar to the level 1 screening, the concepts were further developed in north and south focus areas. The south focus area included the south intersection at Keystone and California and the southern connection of the Keystone multi-use path. The north focus area included the lane configuration on the Keystone Bridge, the north connection of the multi-use path, and the bridge structure type itself. Based on public input, a focus area was also added for multimodal improvements to the Booth Street corridor. The North Focus area proposes to utilize a 3-span bridge with an open abutment area. The Keystone multi-use path is proposed to connect to Vine Street via Jones Street, and the bridge is proposed to have 4 vehicle lanes. For the South Focus area, feedback from the first public meeting really emphasized the difficulty of large vehicle movements at this intersection. Further design is going to focus on improving those movements as well as improving movements and safety for people walking and biking. Multimodal improvements are also proposed on Booth Street, and that could be either a shared use path or a 2-way cycle track. So next steps for the project team is going to move forward with our geotechnical exploration late this summer. We're also looking to move this project into preliminary engineering or preliminary design and also begin our environmental studies for compliance with the National Environmental Policy Act, otherwise known as NEPA. Your comments on this public meeting will be integrated into the proposed alternatives that move forward into that preliminary engineering effort. And of course, community engagement will continue as this project progresses towards that construction date out in 2027. Some things we're specifically looking for feedback on at this stage, and you can provide that feedback over at keystonebridgeproject.com. A few of those questions are, do you support the proposed alternatives as we're showing them here today? What aesthetic features are important to you both on top and underneath the bridge? As well as we recognize that the Keystone Bridge replacement is going to require lane closures during construction. We want to know if the public will support a full closure of Keystone Avenue over the river in order to significantly reduce the duration and cost of that construction. We also want to know if you have any general feedback regarding the project or if there's any other focus areas we should be looking at as we move into preliminary design. With that, I thank you for attending this meeting to learn more about our project. For more information and to provide your input on this project moving forward, please visit our webpage at keystonebridgeproject.com.